And Swarb's favorite tenor sax man.
Servant who was standing by, hearing what was said, he swore like on he would know before the sun would set. And in his hurry to carry the news, he bent his breast and ran. Where he came to a broad mill stream, well, he took off his shoes and he swam. Took a little sleep. When he awoke, Lord Donald was standing at his feet, saying, "How do you like my feather bed? How do you like my sheets? How do you like my lady gay who lies in your arms asleep? Oh, well, I like your feather bed. Well, I like your sheets. But better I like your lady gay who lies in my arms asleep." Get up, Lord Donald cried. Get up as quick as you can. It'll never be said in fair England that I slew a naked man. Well, I can't get up, I won't get up, I can't get up for my life. You have too long beaten so and sat her on his knee. Said, now who do you like the best of us? Your dead man, he grows on me. And then I spoke his own dear wife, but never heard to speak so free. I'd rather a kiss from dead man's lips than you and your finery. And loudly he did moan. He struck his wife right through the heart and pinned her against the wall. A grave, Lord Donald cried to put these lovers in. But bury my lady at the top, for she was of no
was a bagpipe player, and it's a story of her growing up in Ochiltree, which is near Cumnock in Ayrshire. And I think she was about 16 when she was coming home from a show that her and two other drummers had been doing, and my mum had this great idea at 10 o'clock at night, walking back from the Buller's Hall, why don't we pipe our way back into town? There were some ramifications that came along with that. First off, the neighbours were all waking up. But to make matters worse, the gentleman that had the big bass drum, his straps broke. And right at the top of the Smiddy Brae, the top of the hill, the bass drum started to roll down the hill. And without missing a beat, my mum said, "That's the best drum roll I've ever seen." Yes, indeed. This one's called Tummel the Cran. 1, 2, 3,
the dance in the Buller's Hall. We pipe on a three to me, but do it finished early, so we made our way back home. It was near the back of town. We piped the barren rocks of Eden as we marched back through the tomb. These folk were in their bed. Oh man, tumble the crying, crying and watch away. Snap, rap, clatter, bang, snap, they strap, they went. One by one, well the lights came on and knew there's there to be. They left the draw, we just stood and all as the drum rolled to the steady way. In the lookout when it finally came out. Well, maybe not that far, but it fairly caused a racket and folks flew at their doors. Nothing like it since the war. And oh man, tumble the ground and watch away. Snap, grab, clatter, bang, Sandy strap game. One by one, well, the lights came on and knew there's there to be. Well, time stood still on the top of the hill and the drum rolled the spinning ring. Hellfire for the minister and all. We scarcely had a friend, but if the truth we tell, and tell the chin will be best drum roll it ever seen. Oh man, tumble the ground and watch you win. Snap, grab, clatter, bang, sadly strap me. One by one, the lights came on and knew there's hell to pay. The clouds stood still on the top of the hill and the drum rolled. Oh, the drum rolled.
surprise of the places I have been. Oh, and it ain't no I never had a proper home, not one like yours is. I've nearly always had a caravan with horses, and I know you won't believe me, though it is the truth to tell, that the living it is hard, oh, but it suits me well. I am a traveler of the seas, I am a sailor. The ocean has the goods in me, she ain't no jailer. I can tell a fair story, which I'm sure ain't no surprise, of the places I have sailed, oh, and they ain't no lies. I've never had a garden or a place with windows. I stand upon a salty deck and feel the wind blow, and I know you won't believe me, though it is the truth to tell, that the living it is hard, oh, but it suits me well. My mother was a fiery type, for she deserved that. So when I was only 7 years old, I joined the circus, and I know you want that story, which I'm sure ain't no surprise, of the places we have touched, and it ain't no lie. I never had no money and no hope to get none, and always gets a penny when there is good reason. And I know you won't believe me, though it is the truth to tell, that the living it is hard, no, but it suits me well.
Stand up, look.
So I was making fun of me actually earlier, that it'd been a whole decade of making music with Swarb, which rather pales in comparison to our next guest, who started working with him in 1962. It is also my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage the great Martin Carthy.
is a very, very old song. It resonates very much down the years. It being about what you call these days, just call it domestic violence, and how so often everything's made all right, but somehow not all right. And those three dread words, I love you. And just occasionally someone will say, it's not enough. This is a song about, this is a song about the power of no. It's called Prince Heathen.
Martin was in tears earlier because he realised he'd left his best plectrum at the gig we did last night. So if anyone's going to Glasgow tomorrow, can you bring it back for us?
I was feeling okay about it until then. Sits in a garden fair, sewing silk and thin, and by their gum this Prince Heathen vowed her love he'd gain. Oh lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true, I've never yet ye heathen dog, and never shall for you. She turned around and aloud did cry, begone, I love not you. And then he vowed in Prince Heathen she would weep full sore. Oh lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true, I'll never yet ye heathen dog, and never shall for you. So he's laid her all on the ground between himself and the wall, and there he stripped her of her will, and her maiden head and all. Oh lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true, I'll never yet ye heathen dog, and never shall for you. Oh, I see your father in his bed, your mother by his side, and 7 brothers, one by one, are drowning in the tide. Oh lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true, I'll never yet ye heathen dog, and never shall for you. Oh, I'll lay you in a vault of stone, 30 locks upon, and eat nor drink you'll never get till your baby it is born. Oh lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true, I'll never yet ye heathen dog, and never shall for you. So he's laid her in a vault of stone, 30 locks upon, and he's taken the key in his right hand, to the mountain he has gone. Oh lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true, I'll never yet ye heathen dog, and never shall for you. From the mountain came with his merry men all in a line, and he sought out this pretty young girl down in a vault of stone. Oh, how'd you do, and do you weep? Lady, tell me true, I'll never weep in heathen dog, a dying here for you. Oh, meat nor drink you'll never get, nor out of prison come. Oh, meek nor drink you'll never get till your baby it is born. Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true. I'll never yet you hear the door, I never shall for you. She could not be. Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true. I'll never yet believe the door, and never shall for you. So he's laid her all on the green, and his merry men stood all around. And how they laughed and how they mocked as she brought forth her son. Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true. I'll never yet you hear the door, and never shall for you. I'll never drop Prince Heathen cries deliver up your son. Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true. I'll never yet you hear the door, and never shall for you. Oh, I'll lend you an old horse blanket, but to wrap him head and feet. There she took it in her hand, so bitter she did weep. Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true. I'll never yet hear the door, and never shall for you. Could you not give any better thing than a horse blanket or a sheet to wrap and swaddle your own young son that lies in my arms asleep? Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Soft, born her up so slow. He's laid her down in a soft green bed, said dear he loved her now. Oh, lady, will you weep for me? Lady, tell me true. I'll never yet hear the door, never shall for you.
Thank you very much. Some of you ancient enough to remember will know that Dave Swarb came to prominence playing fiddle with the Ian Campbell folk group back in the black and white days. And did that for quite a few years before Martin whisked him off to be their wonderful duo in 1962, as you've already heard. I hope you're taking notes. So this is a song written by Ian Campbell a long time ago, but Jason has recorded it on the new Caleyard Tales album, now on sale behind you somewhere. And it's called The Old Man's Song, and it's telling the story of somebody's life starting about the beginning of the 1900s and coming right through. And there's lots of family connections here. So Jason and Swarb recorded it on the new album, and Ian Campbell came and sang a couple of verses of it himself, and the plan was that Ali Campbell, his son, who's the guy from UB40, or rather was one of the guys, or is UB20 as it's now called, I think. And Jason, what's your name? Jason Wilson, our illustrious leader, is first cousin to one of the other people in UB40, so he knows Ali Campbell, and so Ali and Ian were going to sing a song, a few verses of the same song on an album for the first time ever. And sadly, Ian died before Ali could come and sing his parts. But they're on record together. And I said the album's on sale at the back. So this is Ian's song, and we're all going to sing a couple of verses each. And before the song, Jason is in real life a professional historian and has done a project about the Canadian concert parties in the First World War trenches in Europe. And this is a song that leads into the Old Man song that Jason has recorded. You'll also hear it on Kailyard Tales. No.
How much did I owe you for that, John?
So this is a song from the late 19th century to begin with. It's the soldiers of the Queen, me lads, who've been, me lads, who've seen, me lads, in the fight for England's glory, lads, when we've had to show them what we mean. And when we say we've always won, and when they ask us how it's done, we'll proudly point to every one of England's soldiers of the Queen.
I was a boy of 5. My father went to fight the Boers and never came back alive. My mother tried to bring us up, no charity she'd seek. She washed and scrubbed and scraped along from 7 and 6 a week.
Now when the Great War came along, I didn't hesitate. I took the royal shilling, I went up to do me bit. I fought in mud and tears and blood 3 years or thereabout, but I popped some gas in Flanders and was invalided out.
When the war was over and we'd finished with the Hun, I got back into civvies and I thought the fighting done. I won the right to live in peace, but I didn't have no luck, for soon I found I had to fight for the right to go to work.
She got married to a Yank. Gave my son a gown for stopping one of Romer's tanks. He was wounded just before the end and convalescent road. Married an Italian nurse and never bothered to come home. We're living on the pension now, it doesn't go too far.
Not much to show for a life that seems like one long bloody war.
If you think of all the wasted lives, it makes you wanna cry. I don't know how to change things, but I know we'll have to try.
Album, I think, on the recording. And
We're thankful for it.
yeah, oh, very good. Oh, you're so sharp. There's two people who are having a good time.
This will be the first time as well.
Oh, it's the same person. Oh, I hope you're enjoying it twice as much as you would have done otherwise. Swarb singing on this, you know, we tend to forget that he was a very prolific singer because he couldn't sing in his latter years, but he was a fantastic singer and sang a lot, and I think his singing on this song is the best example of his singing there is, so I can't hope to do it justice, but it's a glorious song, and as you've already guessed, kind sir, it's called Now Be Thankful. And 1, 2, 3, 4. When the stars were on too cold to kneel, crystal waters I'll be bound. Hold the stone, weary to the sounds upon the wheel. Now be thankful for the things below. Now be thankful for your the rose, the red rose blooms for all to know. When the fire has grown too fierce to breathe, in burning irons I'll be bound. Fierce as fire, weary to the sounds of
going to do this song. The words were written by an anonymous pamphleteer in 1649. Well, most of the words were. A couple of verses very clearly weren't written by an anonymous pamphleteer. They were written by me.
Yeah.
The king sat in Dunfermline town, drinking up his blood red wine. Well, where can I get a good sea captain to sail this mighty ship of mine? There up spoke a bonny boy, sitting by his king's right knee. Sir Patrick Spencer's the very best sailor who ever sailed upon the sea. I brought it and sealed it up with his own right hand, sending word unto Sir Patrick to come to him at his command. An enemy, then this must be, who told a lie concerning me, for I was never a very good sailor, nor ever do intend to be. Last night I saw the new moon with the old moon in her arms. It's a sign since we've been born. There must be a deadly storm. They'd sailed out upon the sea, a day with barely free, when loud and boisterous grew the wind, and loud and stormy grew the sea. There I saw a mermaid on, a comb and glass all in her hand. Here's a health to you, me merry young men, for you'll no see dry land again. Oh, long may my lady look, with a lantern in her hand, before she sees me bonny ship come sailing home towards dry land. 40 miles up of Aberdeen, 50 fathoms deep, there lies Sir Patrick Spence with the Scott Lords at his feet.
We're going to play a track off the first Wilson and Swarbrick album, Lion Rampant, which came out in 2014. And Swarb definitely wanted to push the boundaries, that's for sure. And there was, you know, it was quite a scandal. It was perhaps not as big a scandal as Dylan Goes Electric. But I know there was murmurs and whispers when Swarb went reggae. So here is one of those very scandalous songs. This is The Lads a Bunch of Medley. And the best title for the genre that Swarb could come up with was Ceilidh Reggae. And it actually suits. So here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4.
is Lovely Joan. I was very, very happy to learn this, and I think it was. Did the Penguin book come out in 1959 or something like that? I knew what this. I knew there was a song called Lovely Joan, and I knew the tune because I'd heard the Vaughan Williams piece in which it features. I always wanted to learn the words. And the Penguin book came out, and they most sensibly did not compartmentalise the tune. They just printed them all in alphabetical order. So I went to L, and there was Lovely Joan. I can't remember what it was next to. I didn't care. I just had the words now, and I was very, very happy. So I've been singing it for that long. Holy shit.
I've never seen him do this before. Sorry, I thought you were busy, Martin. Sorry.
One, two, three, four.
Fine young man he was indeed, mounted on his milk-white steed. Rode and he rode all alone, till he came to Lovely Joan. Good morning to you, my pretty fair maid. Twice good morning, sir, she said. Tip to the wind, she rolled a dark eye. Says he to himself, I'll be there by and by. I'll give to you my golden ring. Then he took off his ring of gold. Oh, pretty miss, do this, behold, feeling well, I'll give it for your maiden head. Her cheeks, they blush like the roses red. Come give that ring into my hand. I will neither stay nor stand, for your ring is worth much more to me than 20 maidenheads, said she. And as he made for the poops of hay, she leapt on his horse and she tore away. Lord, you called, but he called in vain. But Joan, she never back again. Nor did she think herself quite safe, not till she come to my true love's gate. Probably bought his horse underneath, she's left it to rage in the meadows green.
There's another song written by Dave Swarbrick with Richard by Swarb, and if you close your eyes, you'll think, bloody hell, Sandy Denny's standing in front of me. I get this quite a lot. Well, let me put it this way. I quite often sort of look at the audience and they've all got their eyes closed. Dear Marge, where have I gone wrong? So anyway, it's a wonderful song. So, Crazy Man Michael. Thank you. All the letters have come off with buttons. I don't know where I am. I've got it now. Relax, everything's fine. Oh my God. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Fire and out upon the sea, crazy man Michael was walking, and he met with a raven with eyes black as coals, and swiftly, oh, they were talking. Your future, I will tell to you. Your future, you often have asked me. For your true love will die by your own right hand, and crazy man Michael will curse at me. Michael, he ranted, and Michael, he raved, and he beat at the four winds with his fists. And he laughed, and he cried, and he shouted and he swore, for his mad mind had trapped him with a kiss. Oh, you speak with an evil, you speak with a hate, you speak for the devil that haunts me. For issued on the fairest in all the broad land, your sorcerer's words are to taunt me. He pulled out his dagger of fire and of steel, and he struck at that raven to the heart. Oh, and the bird fluttered long, and the sky did spin, and the cold earth did wonder and start. Oh, where is the raven that I struck down dead, and here did lie on the ground? Oh, for I see that my true love with a wound so red, where her lover's heart it did pound. Oh,
keeper of the garden. rose. It's newly sprung in June. My love is like a melody that's sweetly played in tune. It's fair thou art, my bonny love, so deep in love am I. Still, my dear, till all the seas get dry, till all the seas get dry, my love. Rocks melt with the sun. I shall love thee, still, my dear, while sands of life shall run.
How about Simon Swarb on the fiddle? Mr. Marcus Ali on tenor saxophone.
Well, I remember when we used to sing in a government yard in Trenchtown. There, Georgie would make the firelights, and it was logwood burning through the night. And then we cooked cornmeal porridge, of which I shared with in June.
Everything's gonna be alright.
My love is like melody.
Everything's gonna
It's sweetly glittering. Everything's gonna be alright. So no one don't cry. I hadn't seen him for ages, and he rang up one day and said, "I want you to play on my record." I said, "Okay, I've written a tune for you." "Oh, thank you very much." "No, it's named after you. I dreamed it." "Oh." So I went along to the studio, and there was this tune, and he said, "I dreamed it." So what happened? Well, it turns out that he was spending the night in the home of a new friend. He was unfamiliar with the geography of the flat in Greencroft Gardens in Hampstead, but he fell asleep eventually and then woke up in an absolute muck sweat with this tune in his head, and he had to, and he shook his new friend awake and said, "Got any manuscript?" She said, "What?" "Manuscript." "What's that?" "Music paper." "Well, I do." So he proceeded to try and ransack this flat for anything, for paper, and he found some. All the time he's singing the tune to himself, so he doesn't forget it. And he got some paper and he scratched out a stave and he wrote down this tune and said, "Oh, God for that." And then he got his fiddle and he get ready to climb back into bed, and he got his fiddle and he put it right by the bed with the fiddle out and the bow all ready and on top of the fiddle, and the music balanced on the lid of the fiddle, so that when he woke up in the morning he would see, "Oh, there it is," and he'd play the tune. Indeed, that's what happened. He slept and woke up. "What? I wonder did I dream it? Maybe I did. I don't know." He turned over, and there was the tune. Oh, delight! And he swung out of bed, sat there, picked up the fiddle, made it this wonderful thing. Started. He said, "I started to play it, and I couldn't play it. I couldn't play it. It was too hard. I had to go back to sleep for 3.5 weeks in order to do it." This is his story, not mine. And so we then, he played it, and I was learning it. He said, "Oh, there's another tune. There's another tune on the end of that." And I wrote this for Trev. And Trev is Trevor Lucas. It's a very, very big, very, very red-headed, noisy, wonderful Aussie bloke with a voice, like a great cannonade of a baritone voice. And Trevor had recently died. And it was, in a sense, no surprise, because he came from a very short-lived family. His sister had died about, I think she was his younger sister, and she died maybe she was his elder sister, but she died a few years before, maybe in her late 30s, and maybe early 40s, and he was in his early 40s, and he just had a heart attack and died. It is in his family, as I say. But when he was living in Sydney, he'd moved to Sydney, and he apparently said that he was not going to buy a house in Sydney until he had a house which had a lemon tree in the back garden, because he loved his gin and tonic, and he wanted a lemon tree, so he would always have a supply of lemons. And Dave got it. When he died, Dave went to Fairport and said, "Oh, come on, he's an old Fairport member.
why don't you all send me out as a representative of the band, and I'm not in the band anymore, so I won't interfere with any gigging, but I will represent you and and give you the credit, and I'll you would have paid for me to go, and that's wonderful. Thank you very much, and you will be represented at the funeral. Fabulous. So he went out to the funeral, got to Tread's house, walked into the back garden, and there was the lemon tree. A very strange looking thing, and it was, according to Dave, because he had an idea of what a lemon tree would look like, and this was, sort of like that, but it was this big tree, and it had all these things hanging from it. Whereupon somebody came out from the house with a large glass of gin and tonic, which they thrust into the lemon tree, and reached in and found a lemon and squeezed it like that into the gin and tonic, then just let it go and left it to hang. So these were all lemon carcasses. And Reverend disappeared into the house drinking his gin and tonic. And David thought, God, I've got to do something about this. I will get a couple of lemons and I'll take them back to England. And I'll plant a lemon tree in my greenhouse, and that will remember Trevor. Oh, wonderful, what a great idea. He said, and then I thought about actually doing it, and I realised that it's more difficult than it sounds. You can't transport fresh fruit across the world, unless, as he put it, you really know what you're doing. And he said it's. I've done things like that once in a while, and this was a fairly formidable thing, and it is a long journey. So I'll do it for Trev, and he got 2 lemons, and he hid them about his person, and this long 24-hour flight back to London, and got a hire car, and somebody came and met him, and drove him back to Pembridge, which is it's near Leominster is it Shropshire or is it Herefordshire? It's in Herefordshire, that's right, because that's where he lived. And he said, I was glad to get home, and I went into the toilet, and I took out the lemons, and then I went into the kitchen, and I got my sharpest knife, and I chopped the lemon in half, and I looked at it, and it was seedless. It's Carthy's March and the Lemon Tree.